I believe it's good to go now. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of Lakeland College and MSM Media, I would like to welcome you all to the MSM Agent E-Summit Live Series for 2020. I'm Karishma Chaudhary, Manager Canada at MSM Media. Choosing a right college in Canada is a big decision, an important investment in students' future. Lakeland College has been providing high-quality programs to Canadian and international students since 1913 with the motto, Leading Learning. Lakeland College constantly seeks to enhance the quality of learning experience through international opportunity for its students and graduates. Lakeland College, together with MSM Media, is happy to have you all here for an hour of ultimate knowledge-oriented session to help boost your student recruitment practices. Lakeland College works closely with a carefully selected and approved group of agent partners to achieve its goal of internationalization. Well, before we get to the exciting part, I would like to let you know that if you are having any question related to Lakeland College, then please put that in Q&A section. And if you are having any technical question, please put that in the chat section in your control panel. I know everyone is curious and interested to learn more about Lakeland College, its program offerings, its state-of-art facilities on campus, and of course, its welcoming local community. So without any further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Paul Ostrowski, Manager International at Lakeland College. Paul, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Good evening here. My name is Paul, and as Karishma mentioned, I'm the International Department Manager at Lakeland College. I've had the privilege of working at Lakeland College for about 7 years now, and we are very excited about how our international offerings have grown from very small with low services to high with many services. As you know, your choice to study in Canada is a very good one, and there are, lots of provinces to study in. There are lots of colleges to choose from those provinces. So, how do you really decide where you should go, besides just the brand name schools that you are aware of? So one thing about Lakeland College that's different than any other college in Canada is its location. So Alberta is there. To the left of that is British Columbia, Saskatchewan, and then Manitoba, Ontario, and so on. The difference with Lakeland College is we have two campuses. Our first campus is in Vermilion, and that campus is, I think it was 1913. It was developed. We are a public college. And then I think in the late 70s, they built a second campus in a border city called Lloydminster. Now, the difference with Lloydminster and every other city in Canada is it is a bi-provincial city. That means that our students are considered Alberta graduates, and they are also considered Saskatchewan graduates at the same time. You might wonder why that's important to you. That's important to you because when it comes time, should you wish to pursue settlement opportunities and get a 3-year postgraduate work permit with your 2-year diploma, you now have the option of 2 provinces to choose where you want to pursue your settlement opportunities, not just one. You might also say, why do I need 2 if I only need 1 province to sponsor me? The thing is about provincial sponsorship is the rules can change at any time. And in Alberta and Saskatchewan, they have. Last year, they were not accepting engineering students. Alberta were not accepting engineering programs for their provincial sponsorship. So that's not great for everyone that wants to come to Alberta to study engineering. So many Alberta institutions saw a great decline in their engineering numbers. We did not see a great decline in our our engineering numbers for our only engineering offering, power engineering, because our students decided to go study in Saskatchewan instead, because the rules of Saskatchewan are not the same as Alberta. So the main point here is Lakeland has a unique opportunity for provincial sponsorship because we have two provincial pathways, not one provincial pathway. Okay. So that's nice that it has two, provinces, but are those provinces, do they have opportunity in the province? And yes, Alberta and Saskatchewan have really good PNP programs. Economy right now with COVID, of course, across the world is suffering, dips, but Alberta and Saskatchewan traditionally have had very high economies because of the natural resources. So farming, minerals, oil. Okay, the next thing about Lakeland is we are not a huge college. We have about 2,000 domestic students and we have about 250 international students. So maybe I'm not a math genius, but maybe 11 or 12%. The point I'm making is that when students come to Lakeland, they are not a number. They are a person and they are recognized, and we are able to provide extra service to our students because we know them personally. The last point here is work campus, off campus immediately, but that's, for all DLI, all, that's all designated learning institutions. The next is, so opportunity, I say opportunity because we have a unique settlement opportunity college, but also as a smaller college and a public college, our programs must lead directly to jobs. So we have about a 98% postgraduate employment rate. As I mentioned, permanent residency opportunities, and even though we are not in a bigger city like Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto, we are accessible to Edmonton and Calgary and the Rocky Mountains. And you will also probably discover that living in a smaller city is much cheaper than living in a bigger city, especially for housing. And I'll touch on that in the future shortly. So a unique prairie beauty and a safe city environment. Yeah, we are very clean, we're very safe. And in these days of pandemics, maybe it's not a bad idea to live in a smaller city where you can practice social distancing very easily. Lloydminster does not have many cases because we are a spread out city. So maybe moving forward, perhaps in the past for us, which was maybe a disadvantage in that we are not a huge city, maybe now in the new world is a bit of an advantage. So you can look at it that way. Okay, so I talked about advantages of Lakeland. Let's see how we actually do in polling. So this is 2017. I hope they do a new one soon, but given COVID, I don't think they're into doing student survey rankings because the information is very skewed right now. But in 2017, over 40,000 students in 55 categories from 63 colleges were polled to see what was important to them. So the best overall, first college most recommended by students was Lakeland College in Canada. What that should tell you is students might not know about us compared to some other larger schools, but once they come to our campus and they get the education and they get the service and they see the opportunity, they are in Canada first recommended to tell their students this place is good. Second best overall value. So what do you get compared to what you pay for? Second isn't bad. And we have the second happiest students. So you might think you want to go to a larger university, a larger college, a larger city, because you will be happier there. There'll be more people, more fun, more friends, more happiness. This poll is indicating that's not necessarily so. Okay. Third best for getting a job as a college, our mandate is to create workers in skilled employment careers. And I wish we were first in this one, but we are third best for getting a job in Alberta and Saskatchewan, where you have bi-provincial immigration possibilities. Third best career services, fourth best for employer recruiting. So we have two campuses. One is our Lloydminster campus. Okay, not the end of 1970s, opened in 1990. It's a pretty nice campus. Lloydminster has about 31,500. Student body is about, it's about 40% Lloydminster and 60% on our different campus. So on this campus, Lloydminster, we offer business administration, the usual accounting, general, small business admin. The one program we have that is different than all other colleges, except for two in Canada, UBC, and I think it's Seneca or Fanshawe. We have a program called Real Estate Appraisal and Assessment. This is a very in-demand career, and it's a very good career. One of our recent graduates last year who is from India and who worked with Lakeland in India, he got a job as a tax assessor in a city called Red Deer near here, and he started out almost $80,000 in his 20s. So if you are willing to study and to be a good student, real estate appraisal and assessment is a unique offering within the business program. Okay. Next on our Lloydminster campus is probably the best energy center in Canada to learn from, because it's about 4 years old. So when they build new centers, they're usually top of the line. So power engineering, you can do a certificate and you can transition into a diploma. These are very high paying careers and does have a practicum at the end of year 1 and a practicum or co-op, as you call it, after year 2. Now, our Vermilion campus is actually our original one, which I mentioned, opened in 1913. It has about 2,000, so that's a little bit more. It's a smaller town, so if you choose to take courses on the Vermilion campus, you have to be prepared to not live in a city. You have to be prepared to live in a town. But it's very nice. On this campus, we have 3 main programs. The first one is environmental sciences. So dealing renewable energy, environmental sciences majors. What you see from the pictures on your left, that's what you will be doing. So if you are not prepared to be very hands-on, this is not a program for you. Like business administration, not so much hands-on. Power engineering, environmental sciences, very hands-on. But that is the good thing about it, is our colleges are hands-on. So this does not have a co-op because they do enough of the work outside in the field that the department feels it isn't necessary. Okay. The next one, this program is actually our most popular program in Vermilion, and it fills up quickly. So if you're interested in this program, you should apply early. Human services means dealing with young kids, either educational assistant, early learning and child, or child and youth care. If you take this program, you have to like dealing with kids. You have to be willing to feed kids, take care of kids, kids with maybe special needs. So my advice is, do not take a program that just because you want the easiest program to to take. Take a program that is suitable to your attitudes, to your experience, and to your career aspirations. So if you don't want to work with kids, then you should not take human services, because when it comes time to do a postgraduate work permit, Alberta and Saskatchewan require that your job be in line with your studies. So if you study human services and you go as an assistant at Walmart, your application for Alberta Immigration Nominee Program or Saskatchewan Immigration Nominee Program might be difficult. So make sure what you study, what you like, and what you want to do are all in line. And the last one, and this is our largest program, we have the most students in our college in agriculture science because we are in Alberta and Saskatchewan, the agriculture belts. And don't think that farming means you are somebody that does not have luxury or isn't as rich or is working in the field under the hot sun. No, this is agriculture science. So this is high tech. Now, there's a lot of technology these days in raising cattle, beef, horses, livestock. So you can do an animal science diploma, or you can do agribusiness, which I don't even think they step foot in a field ever. Agribusiness is mostly you are in an office planning what to sell to whom, what to make to sell to whom, how to market to sell. So it's mixing agriculture and business. So that's a very interesting diploma. And the last one deals with crops. So you can deal with farming-based business, you can deal with animals, beef, cows, or horses, or livestock means all others, chickens, pigs, sheep. Or you can deal with plants, crop technology, which in the region of Punjab, I think Punjab is the agriculture belt in India. If you take a crop technology diploma, I think it's very easy to write a statement of purpose that makes sense, that says what you studied at Lakeland can be used back in India if necessary, which is always good to do on your statement of purpose, is to link how what you are studying is useful back at home. Even if your plan is to stay in Canada, the government wants an assurance that if you switch to part-time, which you shouldn't do, if you take an unauthorized leave of absence, which you should not do, if those lead to you not getting a postgraduate work permit, that you will successfully go back home and use what you've learned in Canada back in your home country. That makes a very strong statement of purpose, which is necessary to get a study permit. I'm not sure if you know, but being accepted to the college is a hurdle about here. You have to have grade 12, you have to have math, you have to have English, and depending if you're in agriculture science or if you're in power engineering, you might need chemistry, physics, biology. So yes, so all those things are necessary to have, leading to try to get your study permit, which is probably more difficult than being accepted to Lakeland, is getting a study permit. There, the two main reasons I would say students do not successfully get a study permit is their program of studies doesn't match what they have, or they have too long a gap. So someone with a business background going in the Indian business stream, going into power engineering. I'm not sure why they would do that. The nice thing is business administration is kind of a net that catches everybody, because everything is related to business. Power engineering is business. If you want to say, I want to open my own oil company, human services, I want to make my own kindergarten. Computer science, I want to be a manager in a computer industry. I know the computer side, I don't know the business side, so I want to study business, or you want to study business. So that's why business is our most popular program, because it's kind of a catch-all for what you've studied previously. Some of the more specific programs would require you to maybe have a stream in that sector. Okay, so moving along, not to take up too much time here so we can get through the program successfully without rushing at the end, we have a poll. From the programs I discussed: business administration, power engineering on our Lloyd campus, agriculture sciences, human services, environmental sciences on our Vermilion campus. Which study program do you think you would be most interested in, considering your background too? So if your background is the business stream, okay, if you want to do environmental sciences, that's fair, it's fair. But maybe try to choose something related to where you have a high study permit success rate. So let's take about a minute and see how that works. It seems like lots of people are responding. And it is pretty much what I thought it was going to be. Okay. All right, we're at 50% of our audience voting. That's nice. We're soon pushing 60%. That's good. Okay. Looks like we're slow. There's still some coming in. Okay, well, it looks like we're going to stop there. We had a pretty good, maybe about 65% participation rate. It's nice. Okay, so it turns out business administration, as I was predicting, was pretty popular, about 55%. The next one, okay, yeah, that's pretty standard. Agriculture science, because as I mentioned, Punjab is an agriculture belt, and we are in agriculture belt. So India's agriculture belt meets Canada's agriculture belt. It makes sense. The next one, power engineering. So agriculture is about 20% of you, followed by power engineering 12, human services 10, environmental sciences 4. Environmental sciences is for science-minded folks. However, you have to understand also, environmental sciences jobs pay very, very well too. So I guess my point is, you have to work hard to get something good, or else everyone will do it. Okay, I think we can share the results. Oh, I didn't like to share the results. Sorry about that. Okay, sorry, I should have shared the results. Now that everybody has had a chance to look, if nobody has any objections, I will proceed to the next section. So what you should know right now is that Lakeland programs are high quality, because we don't have huge classes and we have strong economies, and our college's job is to deliver the workers for the strong jobs. That is our mandate. So quality, and of course the beginning one, opportunity, because we are bi-provincial, unlike any other. Okay, so now let's look at opportunity, quality, now affordability. So Quality is nice, opportunity is nice, but if you can't afford the initial investment to make it work, it's just what we call a pipe dream. So our college has residents, plenty of it, on both our Lloydminster campus and our Vermilion campus. And the price of our shared room is $85 per week. That includes laundry, that includes parking, that includes electricity, that includes internet, that includes heat, that includes cable, that includes satellite. And so granted, right now, this semester, right now, currently, we are not able to offer shared rooms because of social distancing. So it would be $155 per week per single room. And you can pay by week, which means you can start in residence to make friends, to find drivers, people to share cars with. And then if you'd like to go off campus, you're not locked into a month. You're not locked into a semester, a year. You just go week by week. So very affordable. The amenities are great. It's a minute walk to the campuses. Vermilion has a very nice bar, and the Prairies in Lloydminster also has a bar, but it's only open once a week. In Vermilion, the bar is called Spurs, or the Lounge, and it's open every day. So the amenities are nice. The location is nice. It's very green, and is very affordable. And yeah, residence is actually a very good idea for your first semester, because you'll meet so many people. You will learn so much. Academically, you will do better. I know I did in residence compared to when I moved off of residence when I was younger and attending university. Vermilion residence here, the same. Spurs pub. They're modeled after kind of Greek houses, Greek names. So they kind of have a European flair to them. So why should you live in residence? It's linked to higher academics. You will mix in with domestic students and internationally so much quicker. You will find networks for finding a job. So how do you find jobs usually? Usually it's by a friend of a friend telling you. On campus, you don't need a car unless you want to work. And we do not have public transportation in our college, in our cities and our town, because they would lose too much money because everybody has a car. So at first you might think it's strange, like that no public transportation. Nobody ever complains to me about not having transportation, because everybody makes friends and they share cars, they share rides. We have a ride sharing app, and you just share the gas money with somebody and they're happy to take you to places, in our experience. Great access to college, flexible, single, shared, everything's included, very safe, 24/7 security. Why you wouldn't, at $85 a week for your first semester, first month, why you wouldn't go and access all these advantages is something I'm not sure why you would do. You should really consider residence, because it's actually cheaper than living off campus, given all the considerations of transportation, bills, and the opportunities to network, and is so much greater. So, poll number 2. Do you plan to live on campus, or do you already have a friend, family member with an apartment, with a house? So what's your idea? Are you already set on campus, or are you set on off campus? So got a lot of yeses. Cool. Okay, looks like we've got most of our answers here. We've got about 65%, that's nice. So yeah, the vast majority, 7 out of 10 of you are looking to live on campus, which I think is a very smart move. And the other 30% of you, I'm not saying you're making a wrong move. You probably already have support system in Lloydminster or somewhere with friends already. Because if you were just coming to Lakeland alone without knowing anyone, it would be pretty tough to have a really good experience moving in off campus to an apartment and learning about everything about Canadian life, including your academics. So if you have support already, living off campus, it's not bad. If you don't have support, or if you want to avail the additional advantages, yeah, living on campus is great. And so that's a good poll. Okay. Lakeland services. Okay, wait, sorry. No, I can touch on this here. Lakeland services. So in these days of COVID and so much uncertainty, as you may know, about the March 18th cutoff date to have a study permit approved, and for your program to be absolutely requirement to be blended, which means essential travel, or is it possible to do it all online? So many of you are not coming for September, I realize that, but just to give you a hint of what Lakeland is doing compared to other colleges, 2 of our programs are able to do online 100%, so not eligible to be deemed essential travel. I have a letter that I give to students via email if they are required to come absolutely because of their labs or co-ops. Business administration, as you might guess, can be done 100% online. So right now, the rules might change, but right now, not eligible to be deemed as essential travel. The same with on Vermilion campus, human services. It is not deemed essential travel because human services can be done online. However, environmental sciences, power engineering, agriculture sciences, some of the programs require absolutely to be on campus, because as you can see from our photos and the purpose of our college, it is a lot of it hands-on, so they have to be there. Other accommodations we are making is we do have isolation units in our residences for students. When they come, they can isolate for 14 days. You might ask, how do you get from the airport 2 hours to Vermilion, Edmonton Airport, Edmonton to Lloydminster, 2.5 hours? How do you get there with all these uncertainties about self-isolation? We have found out that students are eligible and allowed to take a private vehicle, which that includes a taxi, or that includes a personal vehicle from your family member. That includes also a college arranged transportation. So if needed, as requested, we will provide transportation accommodation. We will provide isolation units. We will provide grocery services, because for 14 days, you cannot go to the store. No one can come in your house and deliver the groceries. Actually, they have to put it on the steps, and you can't pass the money. So the money would go onto the account of the resident's account. And the last one is access to medical supplies, medicine, or medical services should you get ill within those 14 days. So all of our students upon arrival at Lakeland will have GuardMe insurance, in addition to when they apply for their provincial insurance, depending if you live in Alberta side or the Saskatchewan side. Our residences are obviously all on the Alberta side, so our students usually apply to the Alberta Health Services Plan. Okay, so we're looking to support our students during this unfortunate time for colleges, for students, for the world, for everyone. We're hoping, as everyone is, that January might look better, but probably September 2021 is maybe when things might gain some normalcy. But in those times, my main point, just wanted to let you know that we are looking after our students coming in. We do have a plan. We have a plan. We know which courses we're offering, and we have a plan if students if students have to come, and it's absolutely necessary that we support them in those first two weeks. And of course, the regular supports along the way. What I want to say by Lakeland Services is that we are a small institution, but with big institution services. Opportunity, quality, not just quality of programs, but quality of our services to our international students. So we have immigration counselor on campus. As you might guess, that's me. We have employment advisor, academics advisors to help. Awards and scholarships. We do have awards and scholarships, but they are for students that have completed one semester. So semester 2, semester 3, semester 4, you are eligible for awards and scholarships. And we have numerous awards and scholarships. They can range anywhere literally from $50 to $1,000. So that just gives you the number. So we don't claim to have scholarships and have $5,000, $10,000 scholarships, and 5 students get a great prize and no one else does. No, we have hundreds of scholarships, and they, as I mentioned, they range from $50 to $1,000. And to get a scholarship, you should really prove that you are a leader. Lakeland, leading, learning. You are a good learner, okay? You got A's, excellent. But now, are you a leader too? That's the people that the faculty and the deans and the chairs look at when deciding whom to grant the scholarships. Health and wellness, learning, library, recreation, residence on both campuses. So we have all the services that a larger college does, but with a family feel to it. We like to have fun too. Okay, these are just a few examples of the kind of things that we do. We have a very comprehensive orientation program for our international students. This year it will be in person, of course 2 meters apart between students, and we will also offer it virtually. So we'll see if that virtual orientation is able to be viewed by potential students, not just students that are starting. Then maybe you can see what we are all about before even committing. Lakeland Live. So now we are about 45 minutes in, so we're pretty good for time here. This was worked out well. Goal number 3, which on-campus service is most important to you? So is a welcome orientation and a party most important to you? Is being picked up at the airport and being settled in easily into residence? Is that? How about academic advising? So if you need help, if you're struggling academically, academic advising means tutoring help. Is that most important to you? Recreation, do you want to play sports? Do you want to have fun? Do you want to like parties? Health services, health and wellness. You really care about someone to talk to and someone to help with that. And yeah. Now, and the last one, if I move this box over, student immigration advising, or is it really important to you to have somebody like me that you can go to anytime and say, I need to extend my study permit. I need a co-op work permit. My permit's expiring. What do I do? I want a seminar in immigration pathway programs. So of those 6, I know it's going to be hard to just pick one, because they're all important, but just kind of a way for us to gauge maybe what's more important than some of the others. Okay, so probably gonna drop out here at about 50%. I don't know, still climbing. Okay, let me share the results. Interesting. This was interesting, but accurate. Okay, so it turns out student immigration advising is just as important as arriving to campus and getting settled in residence. I can understand that, because for a lot of you, the whole purpose, not the whole purpose, some of the purpose, a lot of the purpose is to create a pathway career to perhaps settling in Canada, should you meet the requirements, which the basic two things to meet the requirements: don't ever go part-time unless it's your last year and you only need part-time courses. That's fine. Never take an unauthorized leave, and don't work more than their required, allowed hours off campus, 20 hours a week during school, 40 hours a week after school. So you're right, that knowing what to do and what not to do so you are successful after makes sense. Getting here and being settled makes sense. The next one, academic advising. If I'm struggling academically, I want to be helped and I want to be successful. Yeah, so it looks like getting here, studying, and following immigration rules are the most important. The next one is, well, health and wellness. I want to feel good. I want to enjoy my time at the college. And the next one is to feel welcome. The recreation, I agree. Recreation, typically you can make your own recreation. You have your own friends, your own groups. You don't rely on the college to necessarily always provide events for you to have a good time. So that makes sense as well. Okay, so poll 1, poll 3, or poll 1, poll 2, poll 3 are completed. I appreciate all those who voted. Information gathered is very useful to continue to provide the services that students want. So I thank you for that. Okay, and so lastly, that is the end of our presentation here. Should you wish to learn a bit more, maybe not from what I say or faculty says or employees say, you can go on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think one of those is Snapchat. I don't go on half of these. Go on here, see what our students say, because as you might remember from the poll, it says that Lakeland is #1 recommended. So if we are #1 recommended, there's probably some good things being sent and said on social media. So having said that, I'm finished with my presentation, and I think we are prepared for a Q&A, if I'm not mistaken. So I will hand it back over to Karishma at M Square Global. Also, just to let you know, Lakeland has been working with M Square Global a very long time, and our relationship has been very good. So we encourage you to reach out to M Square and their partners to have a good application and transition process from your part of the world to this part of the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, for such a wonderful presentation. And yes, this is a time for Q&A, and I will request all the attendees, if you are having any question, please do not hesitate to put your questions in Q&A section in your control panel. So Paul, coming to our first question, Very interesting question, and we are actually getting very queries, through emails also. There are a few programs like early learning, childhood care, or crop technology or animal science technology diploma, which are not available for January 21 intake. And due to any reason, if student is not able to get enrolled currently in September 21, if he don't get his visa application on time, visa results on time, or he don't want to study online, or he's not able to travel to Canada if that requires distributed learning, then what are options available for the students?
Okay. So let me roll through the top of these, and then if I don't touch on the specific answers for that, you can just remind me to answer. I'll start here. I'm going to answer live for all of these. When did Canada allow international student of September intake to migrate to Canada? Students in September do not automatically migrate to Canada. I think you mean, when are they going to allow students in September to come to Canada, to fly on an airplane? If I'm not mistaken, that's the question, I think. When are they going to allow students? And the answer is, currently only students before or on March 18th in a program that is deemed essential to be on campus are allowed to come and isolate for 14 days. So for us, those students are environmental science, agriculture science, power engineering. Business students and human services students are not able to come to Canada in September. In January, we have a business intake, so hopefully the travel ban will be lifted by then. And there is some talk of this September even relaxing the rules on travel, but a college can never guarantee immigration rules, even if they are current, because they could change at anytime. So a college being responsible is pointing out what the current rules are, what they might be, and then for you to choose the safest course of action for yourself. So I hope that answers that question. Next September 2021, we're all crossing our fingers that there will be a vaccine by then. It will have been distributed by then, which will be a nightmare on its own. How to distribute a vaccine to 7 billion people is a daunting task, but we've put people in space, on the moon, things in Mars, so we should be able to come up with a way to distribute medicine to our population, but we'll see. Okay, next question from Tanu. Is Duolingo test acceptable or not? Well, Tanu, I'm happy to say that Duolingo is accepted. So that was a very easy question for me to answer. Thank you.
Paul, I think we should also include the requirement for Duolingo. What is exactly requirement?
I have to go on the test site and look. I'm not an admissions officer. I'm familiar with IELTS, but Krishma, what is it?
It is 58 overall with not less than 50 score in any of the module.
Right. Now, you have to understand also that I don't know if study direct stream, do they accept Duolingo or they accept only IELTS?
They accept only IELTS with minimum of 6 score in each module. They do not accept Duolingo in SDS category. Yeah.
So it depends if you want to go into the general stream or the SDS stream. Both streams work. It depends if you are going to do IELTS or not. Okay, Ashish Vig says, hi, Paul, need to know, but no question. So
just below Paul. They are asking about the
I see. Gap year. Now, gap year accepted. Open school. Karishma, this is more of a question for you about gap years. I think it's 5-year gap is the maximum. Open schooling, 12th grade. I'm not sure what open school means, but I think that means no major.
Open school means, Paul, the student actually do not attend the classes in the school. They just appear directly for the examination. They prepare by themselves. So that is the open school. In that, regularly student don't attend the classes.
I think for us, as long as you pass grade 12 or or even whatever the grade 11, maybe biology, whatever you meet, if you have the credential, you have the credential.
Yes.
And Krishma, what's the gap year max? Is it 5?
It is, yes, it is 5 for PG students and it is 3 for undergraduate students.
I see. Okay. So I hope we've answered those questions well. Bismajit, is there any upgradation program like English to meet that IELTS requirement? Okay. Lakeland itself does not have its own English program because usually English programs are in bigger cities that teach permanent residents funded by the government, and then international students are like icing on the cake. We do not teach permanent residents English, so we have no cake to put icing on. Now, however, we realize that students might want to study English and not do IELTS. So we do have pathway partners. We have pathway partner private language schools. Vancouver, we have Create Career College. In Kelowna, we have First College. In Calgary, we have Stafford House. And then soon we are developing a pathway partnership with ILAC, which is a huge English school with hundreds of schools or lots of schools. So if you want to study a pathway and then come to Lakeland with a conditional letter of acceptance based on that pathway, that is an option that we are building now and will be available for either January 2021 or September 2021. Okay, I hope that answers that. Parneet, Paul, what initial fee does a student need to pay before traveling? Great. To get your dreams started, you have to apply and pay the $90 application fee. Once you do that, Lakeland, you are on Lakeland's radar. After that, to secure a seat, a spot, our tuition deposit is $1,500. Now, if you apply for your study permit and you are refused, they will give back $1,000. If you just decide that I'm going to another college and Lakeland buy, but you gave the tuition deposit already, unfortunately, they will keep all of it. So you have to consider, if you're serious, where you are studying first instead of applying to a whole bunch of different places. But so we do that. That is the amount there. And I see. Let's see here. Wow, I'm answering questions, but now I have more than what I started with. We have Sonia. We have 2 students applied for May in business cohort, but they got deferred, right? And now they're receiving email for getting refund. Can they still get deferred for January 21st? That is a very good question. Unfortunately, I cannot answer whether they can get deferred for January 21 without having to pay the $90 fee again. That's an excellent question. Please send that to the admissions officer that you got the email from, which for business, you would have received that from Amanda Gardner. So please ask her. I think they are not deferring to January 21, but I don't know for sure about that. That's a very good question. I'm not going to pretend to guide you with an answer that's not totally true. So Karishma, if that's a question that you can flag and one that we can follow up with, that'd be great.
Paul will put down the details and we definitely get back to Sonia. But I believe if Sonia, if students have already paid the tuition deposit and the program will be available for January, in that case, we would be able to consider the situation, but we have to seek for other, prospects also. What is the condition there? So we'll definitely get back to you after complete case study. Thank you, Sonia. And yes, so we are having another question. So for the Bangladesh Duolingo accepted, yes, I believe Paul, you would like to answer this question. we are having an agent from Bangladesh as well in today's
So
seminar.
for Bangladesh, Duolingo accepted, yes. You know, that Duolingo doesn't discriminate against countries. Hi, what are transfer options after diploma in ag or business admin? Transfer options, we have like 2+2s, and I can't guarantee every single course is transferable. Almost all are transferable. All the big universities, University of Calgary, Alberta, Saskatoon, University of Regina. We have a lot of McEwen University, Norquest, I even believe, Bow Valley, some of them. We do have transfer agreements with them. Please see your particular program, what you would like to study, and you can see. The only advice I will give is, if you wish to get a university degree, maybe get permanent residency first, or attempt to get permanent residency first, and then for your final 2 years, you can pay domestic price instead of international price. So use the pathway programs first. A year or two away from studying is maybe not bad. I finished my undergraduate degree in 1992. I graduated university, and I went back to school in 2005 to do a master's online. I took a large gap, but that gap gave me a lot of perspective on what I learned and how is it useful, and then why do I want to study more? What's the purpose? So a little gap gives you some time to get a job, to think and go, this is why I'm learning this. Aha. And then it becomes much more relevant. Okay. Right. I hope that answers that.
So,
sorry?
The next question, Paul, is about, can relate with this particular question. The student has paid the tuition fee, but have not applied for study permit yet. So would you like to give some clarity to the agents? The student has applied for, the student has already paid the tuition deposit, but has not applied for the study permit yet.
That is a very unique question, because our policy is, if you are denied, then you get a refund. If you're not denied, then you do not get a refund. But this question is, I haven't heard this before. This is not denied, not successful and going somewhere else, but hasn't applied yet. So again, Karishma, great question, great question here, because we don't get these a lot, because pre-pandemic everybody applies, and there's no reason not to apply. So yes, I think the student,
even after the IRCC recent announcement, I believe you should go ahead, put the application, your visa application of your students. That is very important, because if you won't be able to provide us the proof that you have already made the put the application, we won't be able to take any step on that. We won't be able to even refund in that case. So that in that case, student might get hampered. So it's really important, at least put forward the embassy is open, they are accepting online applications, they have made the announcement. So go ahead, make the or if you want that to take the deferment or something, to just to if the program is available for January intake and student don't want to study in September, then take that particular step. Don't delay with the process.
Thank you.
All right.
And I think she just discussed the refund policy, which was the next question. It's 1,000 if you are denied. It's 0 given back if you perhaps didn't apply or got approval and decide to go somewhere else. Yeah. I have a student diploma in child and youth care. The mails to her state that they might offer September online. There is no, yes, it is all online. It is all online, so the student can do it all online, so there's no reason they shouldn't do it. It's available. It's available now. They can do 1 semester online. If necessary, they can do 2 semesters online. They cannot do more than 50% online in order to get a postgraduate work permit according to the current rules. So then some students might wonder, well, then what happens if the gap continues, the travel ban continues longer? College is allowed to authorize a 150-day leave of absence, so that buys you more time. And then if it's past that, you have to go the immigration route and change your status away from a study permit to maybe even a visitor status, and then reinstate it. The government knows fully well if it's past a year that a lot of students are going to need to take a gap. So they're very well aware of this. So I hope that helps. Is there any PG programs available for agriculture science, including co-op option? Now, PG programs means postgraduate. That means a high school diploma is not enough to enter. PG means you have to have a postgraduate credential. Our programs are not postgraduate. Our programs are post-secondary programs. So you just need a high school program for us. And for ag sciences, we don't have co-op options because we have the largest student managed farm in the country, and they are doing hands-on co-op type work all the time. So there's no reason to send them outside the farm when you have a farm that can service all the students. And you can put on the resume, worked at Lakeland's largest college farm. It's run by the students. The farms is not run by faculty. Oh.
Right.
Hope that answers that question.
Yes, Paul. So, Deepak, coming to the next question, are we offering any conditional offer letter for Jan 21 intake?
We are building it right now, but the conditional letter will mean that you have to study a language, because right now we have conditional letters based on English. So English proficiency conditional. And I know Stafford House, you have to study at least 12 weeks. Some other places might be 2 months or so on. So right now that means to be finished, you would have to finish at the end of, maybe at the end of November. So even if we did offer those for January, it's starting to get tight. We will probably have it in place, but maybe your language program will be past the length of January anyway. So most likely, conditional letters will be useful for the September intake.
Right. Thank you, Paul. Paul, agent want to know about the placement facilities available for the students. What kind of jobs they are getting after studying from the Lakeland College? What are you providing any job fairs on campus?
We do have job fairs on campus, and we have more than one. We do not. The college cannot find the job for the student, obviously, but we have, as mentioned, we have an employment advisor, and we have job fairs, and industry is very linked to our faculty and to our college. Industry loves our college. So as mentioned, we have a very high job rate, and we do provide job fairs and an employment advisor for advice and assistance.
Right.
Is there any scholarship option for a student for January intake? Yes, after one semester. So they have to study 1 semester. So you can start in January, and then in September you will be eligible for scholarships. Are we offering online studies for September 20th? Yes. Business administration, human services, totally online. Others, half, or no, actually not half, probably 90, 10, 80%, 20%. Do we need a visa approval to start online studies? Okay, this is a very excellent question. Do you need a study permit approval to start? According to Lakeland, you'd never need a study permit to start. You can study our programs in your home, all of it. That doesn't mean you'll be eligible for a postgraduate work permit. So if you start online studies before you get approval or approval in kind, now it's a two-step process, approval in kind. Before you get approval in kind, they will not count the portion overseas. So my advice to you is get the study permit first, because it's really what you need. It's about five days. Our turnaround time's about five days. Okay. Please refer the email. Please refer the email from the college. They have replied that fees will be refunded. I'm not sure that's a question, except a request. So that person can make a request if they like. Our refund policy hasn't changed, except if agriculture science, if you get your study permit, but it's business administration, you got your permit for September, but you can't come. You should still study online, or you risk losing your tuition deposit, because it's possible to take that course. And human services overseas, it's possible to take that course. If you got your study permit March 18th or before for agriculture, environmental sciences, power engineering, it's possible to take those courses. So you won't get it. The only time you get a refund in the COVID cases here is if it's not possible for you to come or to do it online. Is close to 100% apply for study permit? Yeah, the offices are closed, but there's a two-step process now. I would suggest you go on IRCC and see how they are doing it now. Once again, Parneet, this is a very good reason to work with an agent or MSM to get clarity about that.
Right.
Oh.
Yes, I would like to add something here, Paul. You can definitely start putting the application. IRCC is accepting online applications, and they are started giving the decision even on the applications which having few pending documents. For complete details, please go to CIC website. Yeah. Thank you.
They're being very flexible, I might add. They're being flexible. Yes, oh, how many days the student needs to attend the college and what hours per day? Oh, this is a very tricky question depending on, okay, business administration and human services are all online with some in-portion parts, not regular. The other parts may be 80%, 20%, 70%, 30%. If you are in a program, you should have attended the webinars that each of our departments has held. And if you did not, I believe they recorded them. But right now there's so much uncertainty, but the current thing for Lakeland is do as much as possible offline, but when necessary, online. So I'm predicting 80-20%. If students started online course and is in first phase initial approval given by CIC, but if final approval visa denied for any reason, so fees will be refunded. Yes, because you're refunded, you are denied your study permit. If you are denied your study permit, no ifs, ands, or buts.
So coming to the next question, Paul, it is about, again, can a student defer to intake from September 20 to January 21 in case student is not comfortable with the online teaching?
That's similar to the question before. I guess that's, yeah, do they want to lose their application? And we'll follow up. Great question. This informed me that early, if the visa got refused, it is a huge amount you're deducting. Yeah, but actually, yeah, Anil, I understand, but the colleges invest a lot of people hours in reviewing these applications, in setting up the study programs, in figuring out logistics, and then sometimes a student might transfer to another school. So they get the visa from a school because it has the program that matches their background, and then they switch to go to the school they want to, which doesn't have a program that matches their background, but they switch to DLI anyway. for students to require the college to facilitate that kind of change, the college charges $500, basically. And a lot of schools charge a lot more than $500, to be honest, a lot more.
Right.
But it is significant because we want students who are serious about Lakeland to come to Lakeland. If you are serious, then if you get your study permit, you will come. If you get refused, okay. So for Duolingo, exam accepted by CIC, no, Duolingo is accepted by the college, but not for SDS. And this one's done. Okay. This inform you okay. Okay, thanks. How about maybe next semester? Currently, Parneet, unfortunately for COVID rules across the world, 2 meters, or you always have to wear a mask. You know, in residence rooms across campuses in Canada, 102, room 102, building 102 is not allowed to go visit building 103. No parties, no thing. I'm really sorry for your younger people here starting on your life with such restrictive rules when all of us before had such easy rules. Yeah, we're all sorry for that. So this is not a defer option. So I think we've already answered that question.
Yes, Paul, and these are the similar questions only which we are right now having. So it is just about if student is having offer letter and paid tuition deposit for any of the program which is just available in September 20 and not in January 21. There are 2 options. Either they can apply for the refund in that case, and providing that they have applied for the visa approval, or they can take the deferment to the next available intake that which must be September 21. So it completely decision of the student. If you want to defer to the next intake, that is most welcome. We will defer to the September 21, as student can definitely apply for the refund, stating that what exactly the problem is. We will analyze the situation, and we are being very flexible. I believe Lakeland College is being very flexible during this time. We will do whatever best would be we can do in that particular case. So Paul, yes, please.
We will always look to try to do what's best for the student. That's always the main goal, because that's what makes sense to us, and obviously for you. So Karishma, if you need more confirmation about that, please check with admissions, as they are the final authority about that. You can copy me on that. So it looks like we've answered most of the questions. Quite a lot of questions, quite a lot of participation, which was nice. I noticed participation from students. I also, from some of the names, saw some of the agents I am familiar with. So to some of my agent friends, like UGRAV Foundation and some of the other agents out there, Everest is out, and some of the other large ones, very happy that you sat in on this. And we're always very appreciative of our relationships with our agents and our M-Squared partners, and our relationships with our incoming and current and even post students.
Right.
So very happy about that.
Wonderful. Thank you, Paul, for your valuable time you have shared with our agents and us. And I also would like to thank all the participants who being a part of this exclusive MSM and Lakeland Agency Summit. We really appreciate that you being here. We hope that the session was very helpful and informative enough for everyone here. Until the next one, please take care, stay safe, and stay healthy.